Hey, everyone! Before we jump in, if you're enjoying these stories, hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a video. It really helps the channel grow. Alright, let's get started. I never thought I'd see my husband, the man I've admired for years, become the target of everyone's jokes at what was supposed to be a friendly gathering. It all went down at a casual dinner party hosted by my coworker Sarah and her husband, Tom. We were genuinely looking forward to it. Good food, familiar faces, and easy conversation. But the moment we stepped through the door, something felt off. I couldn't pinpoint it, but there was a subtle tension in the air. The first few minutes were normal, kids running around, polite small talk, smiles all around. Then, out of nowhere, someone threw a small jab at Alex's job. On the surface, it seemed like a harmless joke, but there was a sharp edge underneath. The laughter that followed sounded mean, not playful. Alex chuckled politely, but I caught the brief flash of discomfort in his eyes. My stomach sank. As the night went on, the remarks grew sharper. "Alex, you seriously don't know how investing works, do you?" One guest said, grinning like it was all in good fun. Another chimed in, "I'm surprised someone like you can even afford a place this nice." It quickly stopped being playful. It turned into outright mockery, and the whole table joined in. I wanted to jump in, defend him, call them out for being rude. But Alex just sat there, calm and composed, hands resting neatly in his lap. He didn't snap back, stumble over his words, or even flush. He just nodded occasionally with a soft, steady smile. Not the nervous grin of someone shrinking. This was quiet confidence, a man completely aware of his worth without needing validation from anyone else. Then came the comment that made my skin crawl. "You're just so average, Alex. It's kind of cute how hard you try, but let's be honest, you're not exactly exciting." The room erupted in laughter. Heat rushed to my face. I gripped my wine glass, so tightly I thought it might shatter. Every instinct screamed at me to lash out. But Alex's calm held me in place. He looked around the table, meeting every eye without hesitation, and said softly, "Maybe I am average. The great thing about being average is it lets me notice the extraordinary qualities in people like all of you." You could have heard a pin drop. The smug expressions vanished. A chill went through me. Not fear, but awe. He didn't stoop to their level. He rose above it effortlessly. One guest, suddenly less cocky, asked, "What's that supposed to mean?" Alex smiled warmly and explained, "It means I see when someone genuinely helps others without expecting recognition, when someone truly listens, when someone carries themselves with integrity rather than just trying to impress. That's the extraordinary stuff I care about, not tearing someone down to feel bigger." The mood shifted instantly. The mocking energy evaporated. People fidgeted, avoided eye contact. A heavy silence fell over the room, the kind that makes everyone painfully aware of how badly they've acted. Alex never raised his voice or insulted anyone. His quiet honesty hit harder than any comeback could. I felt a rush of pride and relief. Pride, because this incredible man is mine, steady, unshaken by cheap shots. Relief, because I realized he didn't need anyone to fight his battles. He had it completely under control. For the rest of the night, everything changed. The teasing stopped. Even Sarah and Tom looked embarrassed. Alex remained kind, relaxed, and somehow completely in command of the room without trying. Sitting next to him, it hit me. Sometimes the strongest response isn't shouting back. It's staying calm while everyone else loses their manners. As the evening wound down, the politeness remained, but a thick awkwardness lingered. I noticed a few guests stealing glances at Alex, clearly reconsidering every assumption they had walked in with. Even the instigators quietly joined in casual conversation, pretending nothing had happened. Walking to the car, I slipped my hand into his. I wanted to gush, to tell him how proud I was, but I didn't have to. That night had already said it all. Over the next few days, I kept replaying the moment in my mind. Most people react angrily when mocked, defensiveness, sarcasm, snapping back. Alex did none of that. His power came from calmness, speaking truth instead of reacting. It was a masterclass in quiet strength. Later that week at work, I shared the story with a coworker who's always admired Alex. He didn't snap, didn't argue. By the end, the whole table was silent. It was unreal, I told her. She just nodded and smiled. That's how truly strong people operate. They don't have to prove anything. Their presence speaks for itself. A couple of weeks later, we were invited to another casual brunch with some of the same group. I was curious to see what would happen. And the difference was astonishing. The same people who had tried to roast him now greeted him with genuine respect. Nothing over the top, just a quiet acknowledgement of the calm authority he had displayed. Alex, as always, remained humble and warm. Walking home that afternoon, the sun fading behind us, I looked at him and said softly, "You handled that dinner perfectly." He gave me that gentle smile and shrugged. "I didn't handle anything. I just am. That's always enough." Those words have stayed with me ever since. Ridicule loses all its sting when it lands on someone who is completely secure in themselves. Life will always throw judgment and cheap shots your way, but true power comes from choosing peace over reaction. Knowing your worth doesn't depend on anyone else's opinion. That night, lying beside him, I felt a deep, quiet respect. I've loved Alex for years, but watching him absorb public mockery with nothing but grace revealed a level of strength I hadn't fully recognized before. True strength isn't force or volume. It's patience, self-awareness, and unwavering integrity. Some strength shouts. The best kind simply stands firm, letting truth speak for itself. That's the strength Alex has. The kind that commands respect silently and silences critics without ever raising its voice.